welcome back to AWS On Air. I'm Jasmine Kyles, one of your hosts here, and I am joined by my other co-host, the Kyle.
The Kyle, I don't know. There might be multiple Kyles, but I am pretty mediocre. Hey, everybody, my name is Kyle Dickinson, and we've been hanging out together for the most part of the day, and we are joined by some new friends today.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Good, good. My name's Tash. I'm a solutions architect at AWS. Worked for AWS for 3 years in January.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey there, this is Rohit Vashisht. I'm a Redshift Specialist Solutions Architect.
Awesome. So we're just a whole bunch of solution architects up here, aren't we?
I'm outnumbered.
Excited to hear it.
So we're talking about something that is pretty near and dear to my heart because ETL has been something that I have not wanted. It's time consuming for someone that doesn't know how to do it, especially someone like me. What are we going to be doing when it comes to Zero-ETL?
Yeah, so starting off with what ETL is, first of all. So ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. It's essentially the process of combining, cleaning, and normalizing data to get it ready for analytics. Artificial intelligence and machine learning, we need to make sure data is clean and of a good quality to be able to analyze it or use it for AI and ML. So really the purpose of Zero-ETL is before you had to very manually build your own data pipelines and manage it kind of all of yourself. And that's quite time consuming and also quite non-cost efficient. So really the purpose of Zero-ETL is to remove that management and to do things kind of in an automated way, kind of removing data silos and integrating directly with other services such as ML, AI, being able to do this quickly and cost efficiently.
Is this process what I hear, like taking unstructured data and turning it into structured data?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's this process, okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what ETL does, yeah.
Wonderful. Now, what is new? What's going on? What do we got going on?
Yeah, so at reInvent, we've introduced 5 new Zero-ETL integrations that demonstrate how we are executing this Zero-ETL future. And this includes 3 Zero-ETL integrations between databases and Amazon Redshift. So the first one was Amazon Aurora PostgreSQL, Amazon RDS for MySQL, and Amazon DynamoDB Zero-ETL integrations of Amazon Redshift. And these Zero-ETL integrations really start to eliminate the work of building and managing those custom data pipelines that I was speaking about earlier between the databases and Amazon Redshift. So basically within seconds of you writing data into the database or a system writing data into a database, that data is replicated automatically to Amazon Redshift without having to build an ETL pipeline in between the two. And then updates in the databases, so as things are changing, new jobs are coming in, that is then automatically and continuously propagated to Redshift, and this can help organizations save significant amounts of time in their data engineering work.
Nice. So who is the typical customer that would be attracted to using Zero-ETL, and how does it help them?
Yeah, so previously data engineers would have built the ETL pipelines, so it saves them a lot of time by them being able to innovate rather than having to manage their own data pipelines for that ETL going forward, which is a lot of main pain point really for data engineers at the moment.
Yeah, they definitely want to innovate and be able to do all the fun things, play around with Gen AI, you know, build the fun stuff, not spending time and manually doing things.
Exactly.
All right, Rohit.
Yeah,
Let's see it.
Well, I'm a good listener, first of all.
Rohit, let's do it.
So, Zero-ETL, as the name suggests, you know, it's a vision that AWS has been on, for quite some time. It's not today, although it seems like it. But 3 years back, we started with using Redshift Spectrum. Yeah, directly query the data on your data lake. Then we came up with federated query approaches, right? Followed by the fact that we want inferences in real time. Let's say if we are doing any kind of machine learning, right? We wanted inferences in real time, so we came up with the concept of Redshift machine learning, wherein you can really deploy a machine learning model into Redshift as a function, and then use that function over and over. The inference is for free. So we have been into that journey, quite continuously, and for past 3 years, and significant progress over there. We recently generally made available like this Aurora MySQL to Zero-ETL integration to Amazon Redshift, and in the same theme, if you see, the announcements that were there from Adam today, that basically ties back to that theme. You know, getting Zero-ETL integrations over to from earlier it was Aurora MySQL. Now it's from the RDS MySQL, and then PostgreSQL. Aurora PostgreSQL will be the next one, and then DynamoDB to Redshift, and similarly DynamoDB to OpenSearch. So these are all kind of innovations that are going on in the process. And I mean, if you can focus on my screen, a picture says 1,000 words.
Through the magic of screen sharing, we can do that.
So, I mean, we have been building toward a Zero-ETL future. This is a snippet from one of the workshops that we'll be doing tomorrow on Zero-ETL integration. Basically just consolidating all the Zero-ETL approaches together. So it's going to be exciting, but just my 2 cents on that.
Awesome. So how can the customers get access to this?
Well, the customers, as I said, Aurora MySQL Zero-ETL integration with Amazon Redshift, it's already generally available. So, and we are going to demo this, right in front of you.
Wonderful. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's see that demo. Wait, we need to do the demo dance.
I like the dance.
All right.
Okay.
3 out of 3 times we haven't done the demo dance, the demo has gone sideways. And 3 out of 3 times that we have done the demo dance, they've been very successful.
It's like when you shake it to make sure it works out.
Good that you did it. I really appreciate that. Okay. So to start with, this Aurora MySQL Zero-ETL integration, the Aurora MySQL basically resides in Amazon RDS right now. So we go to RDS console first. And in the RDS console, you will see Zero-ETL integration in the left-hand navigation menu. So you just go to Zero-ETL integrations, and you will come across a wizard called Create Zero-ETL integration, right? This basically walks you through almost everything. There are 5 steps to be which are involved in the process. First, you set up your name of the integration, right? Just give a random name. So I'm going to give it a random name. Oh, there you go. Then you pick your source database, which is, in this case, Aurora MySQL, right? So you pick your source database, Aurora MySQL. Now, on the source side, if you look at this select a source database heading, it asks you to get a few prerequisites handled before you create that integration. So the prerequisites are twofold. First of all, you should be on the right version of Aurora MySQL. And the supported version is 3.0.50, and which is compatible with MySQL 8.0.32 and higher.
Okay.
So that's the prerequisite, and then you need to get enable enhanced bin log in your parameter groups. So there are 6 parameters, and you can look at the documentation. We've got tons of documentation out there. So I mean, this is the documentation page. But again, like I'll refrain from going into details. 6 parameters that you need to set. Basically, you say that enhance my bin log, use enhance bin log, and suppress the existing bin log. Right? Those are the parameters. So you're suppressing bin log, and you're asking it to use enhance bin log. Enhance bin log has got tremendous potential, right? Your transaction logs which are coming, and you can get your CDCs going on in parallel. So it's pretty cool actually. The enhanced bin log, it's a nice innovation done from our software development team.
Awesome.
So that's the prerequisite for source. Moving on, the prerequisite on the target is again twofold. First, you need to enable case-sensitive identifier on your destination, which is Amazon Redshift in this case. Because Aurora MySQL is a RDBMS, it's case sensitive by default. Okay. And Redshift as a OLAP is like case insensitive. So we make it case sensitive by enabling case sensitive identifier. That's one. And then the second one is you allow an integration to be created from your source to Redshift, right? So you allow that integration source. So those are the twofold requirements on the Redshift side. Then the third thing is setting up your properties, which let's first pick up our Redshift data warehouse as our destination. So I've got a serverless here and a provisioned here. So I'll choose serverless as my destination. So I'll choose that, and then I'll click on next. If you want to add any encryption, Serverless, as you know, is encrypted by default. So Redshift serverless is encrypted. I'm just going to skip over the step. And then I'll just review and create. It's as simple as that.
As the resident security host, I'll just say that we enabled it.
There you go. So you just click on Create Zero-ETL Integration. The integration starts and starts creating, and that's the seeding process, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
And it can go up to 30 minutes as well, like if your data set is quite large. Again, depends on the seeding. So this is a one-time step, seeding. And then the CDCs are like, instantly in seconds, you'll see your data getting replicated. So I'm going to cancel this because I've already done that, in the interest of time. And as you can see,
it's like a baking show.
Yep. As you can see, our integration is active. So we have, moved back, forward in future, 15 minutes in future. So now we have got an integration which is active. Now I'm going to use this integration to get my data from Aurora MySQL to Redshift, right? Let's see how it works, okay? So I'm first going to connect to my EC2 instance, which this will become my client for connecting to Aurora MySQL.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go there, connect using Session Manager, let it come up. In the meantime, I'll go to Redshift. So I'm using Query Editor V2. It's a lightweight query editor that comes along with Redshift for no cost to the customers. So I'm going to connect to our Zero-ETL destination, database username and password, AWS user.
Oh, your password's a bunch of dots. Interesting.
Yep, that's correct. So I'm going to connect, and then don't save. And then once I've connected, I'm going to pick up my steps for creation of the database. Again, I'm just reusing stuff because we have already done that in our workshop. And these workshops are already public.
That was going to be my question: is can those that are watching live and then also in the future on demand, can they do this workshop on their own in their own AWS accounts? And it sounds like
yes, absolutely, they can. Yeah. So if you look at the whole documentation, I mean, you'll see we have a couple of options. You can be on an AWS workshop, and you can do it self-paced.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we have kept all that in mind, and we have got two versions of it. This one is one where we are covering all the Zero-ETL approaches, and then there's another one wherein you go deep into Zero-ETL. You do all these things manually, one by one, followed by a QuickSight analytics demo. So it's merged with QuickSight. It's
kind of like you could see the process of what it's like to not have Zero-ETL, and then you really appreciate the Zero-ETL.
Exactly. Yeah. So well, a quick glimpse of the two workshops that we have. Yeah, the tutorial. This is the one where I was saying, we go deep into, individually each step. We go through each of the steps, and then let the users do analytics on QuickSight. So this one has analytics on QuickSight. A pretty cool lab. This one you should explore as well. The one that we are doing tomorrow is this one, which is ANT 307. Request everyone to please come and join in large numbers. So.
You just showed those tutorials. How can a customer get to that? That's a very long URL that I can't just memorize right now. What's the best way to navigate there?
Well, tiny URL, and then you can always search in AWS resources. And if you are in touch with the account teams, if you have AWS representatives, they can get it for you.
And I think you could also just go to workshops.aws, and then you could search for maybe like Zero-ETL.
And that, yes, of course, that's easier.
It's late in the day, and it's been a long week, so.
Yeah, I was holding my ear from, all the way around. So, okay, so this is what I'm doing here. So the integration was already created, okay? And I'm going to get this integration and create a database in my Redshift data warehouse. So I'm going to get rid of the white spaces. Okay, and I'm going to create a database from this integration that was already active. Okay, so now onwards, anything which is there in our Aurora MySQL database is going to get, replicated immediately.
Okay.
So to start with, right now we are in dev database. You will see in dev database, we'll have another, except dev, we'll have another database created in this cluster. So there you go, Aurora Zero-ETL, this is created. So I'm going to open another tab. Okay, and here I will choose Aurora Zero-ETL as my database, right? And since I want to validate whatever I've done is fine or not, I'm going to just pick up this validations and monitoring tab. I've got some SQLs there. I'm going to reuse them. So to start with, let's connect to the systems manager that I opened up to connect to the client.
Yep, and just so for those that are just joining us and following along, you have an EC2 instance that is running, and you are connecting to your database right now through this EC2 instance to do things and stuff to the tables itself.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so in order to connect to Aurora MySQL, I'm going to take my writer endpoint and then use that writer endpoint as my host to connect to EC2. So there you go. You choose the endpoint. And Dash, feel free to, correct me where I'm wrong.
You're completely right.
All right. So
I wonder how many are watching this stream trying to type in that URL right now after seeing the username and password for this.
Take a quick screenshot.
All right, so I'll enter my password. All right, so I'm connected to Aurora MySQL. I'm going to run a bunch of insert statements. Well, not inserts technically, but copy from S3 kind of statement, load from S3 in Aurora MySQL. So if you see, I'm creating a database followed by creating tables, and then we are in US West 2, so I'm going to use these load from S3 prefix statements. So to start with, we'll use this, and we go to session manager, then paste our SQL. Okay, tables are created. We come back, and we get our load from S3. We go. We are in US West 2, so load from S3, and I just paste it there. Okay, the load process has started. In the meantime, I'll go to Redshift and show you that currently in Aurora Zero-ETL, I don't have any schemas, right? And in Aurora MySQL, databases and schemas are pretty much the same. In Redshift, though, you have a cluster, then you have a database. You've got schemas under the database.
Okay.
So the schema/database in Aurora MySQL will become a schema, in this case, inside the Aurora Zero-ETL database that we created from integration.
Awesome. And we are coming up on time, but if folks that are watching wanted to go through this themselves, we have those workshops available.
Yep.
And then is there anything here at reInvent that they could join or reach out to folks that where they want to talk more about Zero-ETL?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we have got a workshop coming up tomorrow.
Awesome.
And then beyond that, we have a few chalk talks as well, which, few of our principals are presenting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We got to get going, but this has been very informative.
Thank you so much for having us.
Zero-ETL is the future.
It is.
Absolutely.
I'm looking
We're
forward to
already agreeing, Josh. We're like, oh yeah, this is it. It takes one moment to see it, and you're like, yeah, this is it.
Stay tuned for closing words.